now we can actually introduce ourselves a little bit. I'm Aaron Su. I'm at Indiana University working on data parallel compilers, which are compilers that are themselves running in parallel on the GPU. So that's the CodeDefense project. We're going to play with that a little bit today, but primarily my history is a lot of Scheme, so probably a decade plus of Scheme programming before I discovered this funny little language with arrays in it, and played around with that. We'll get into that a little bit as we go through, and I've been doing some array programming ever since. And I find it a very interesting paradigm that I was never taught about at university, so I think it's pretty interesting. We have brought along Morten here, so maybe Morten, you can say a few words about your background. Only one. Okay. All right. Cool. So for those who don't know, I wrote a blog post called "Smaller Code, Better Code." Somebody put it up onto Hacker News and told me about it, and some half a book later, we were doing a live session discussing compilers, and then somebody wanted to do another AMA on it, so we did another half of a book discussion on Hacker News to go through it. So I can put some information up on that later, and you guys can have some fun with that, and we can go. So how do I share another link with all of you on Slack? So let me turn this on so you can see it. How do I like send a message to the LambdaConf channel so you guys will see it? Can I just put it? Yeah, just at the bottom here. I can just go here and. All right. Can we do that? Is that a? Oh. Like this? Okay, new channel, public, name. So I have to do some. Oh, it already does that for me. So function. Oh, does it have to be lowercase? Yeah. Like that? Okay. Acceptable? Okay. I got it, maybe? All right, so that is, all right, sorry, I'm used to IRC. I don't know how the Slack thing works. People tell me this, but I can't get the source code for Slack. Anyways, okay, let's close out of that. All right. Basically, this is stuff that you guys are going to be getting to after we got the install. The packager's almost copied over. Let's get that up and running. Is it empty? I might have to synchronize it a bit, so it might take a little bit to synchronize. Does it show up as empty here? Yeah, it does. It does. Okay. How long does it take to sync? Sync. Okay. All right, it's syncing up, so we should be getting the materials up there, hopefully. All right, and how are the installs going? Are they all working? So we're going to go through that. Here, I have a Linux copy on this. Yeah, so this has all three on it, so you should be able to use whatever you need from there. Okay, so to verify that your system is working, first you'll want to make sure you can run your C compiler or whatever it is. Once you've verified that, you need to make sure that you can get into your workspace So you've checked, mostly I'm going to suggest you work from inside the codefunds repository as your current working domain. On Windows, when you check it out, you'll double click on the workspace. It'll pop up. You'll see something like this. I'd better make the font bigger. About like that. Easy to see, more. Like that? A little more? Good. Okay. All right, so you'll get to here, and to verify that everything is working, you'll basically, well, we'll let you guys all go through the installer a little bit more. But on the Linux side, you should have installed you have a folder mdialog in the opt directory. So that is, yeah. So in the mdialog folder, you'll have a bunch of folders leading up to your Unicode folder, which contains your installation. And inside of there, you want to use root and run the make scripts folder. That should make sure your MAPL is running correctly. And MAPL is the full program, MAPL, that guy. You want to make sure that that is in your path so that you can run. And if you run that inside of the codefunds directory, you should get something that looks a little bit like this. You can run mapl codefunds.dws. And on Mac, you have to open up the dialog instance. Actually, maybe Morten can show that on his Mac here, if you want, to show them how to verify that their dialog is up and running and in the right space. So we can plug in from over here. Yeah, but I want to make sure they can CD into different directories and things like that. Here, let me put this out of the way. All right.
Okay, I'm not sure.
What's the, and you'll need to grab the HDMI cable, I think, or is there a second one?
So what exactly do you want me to show?
Just show how to launch dialog and how to. Are you on the side projector?
I think
Or are you in your display port? Yes, there you are. Okay.
So then you get out of here.
This is what you'll see if we don't do the symlink stuff. So.
Oh, right, it's already on. So
Yeah.
you should just have an orange icon like this one here. This is line 15. Anybody not have that? Yeah.
Did you run the dialog installer? It might be in your applications folder.
Yeah, it might be. You might need to use the launch pad, and you'll have it.
When else up to you open where I try to open it, they don't. Whatever.
Okay, that's one I haven't heard before.
Yeah, so you click on that, and
I've got a question.
Yes.
Does it have to be dialog 15 if I have an earlier installation?
I highly, highly, highly recommend 15. You're welcome to try without it, but I strongly encourage 15. No. Okay. Yeah. So, and rather than in Linux, you can just run MAPL on the workspace from here. On Windows, you just double-click on it. In Mac, you'll need to use the cd command. You probably, well, yeah. And you'll need to load in the workspace and cd into the correct directory wherever you have the codefunds compiler checked out, and you'll be able to load that in. Yes, so then we're going to go through the symlinks. Yeah, so what we need to do for the symlinks is if you go into your user local lib directory, is everybody at that point on their Mac installation where they've installed Arrayfire, Homebrew, Dialog, those three, done a checkout of codefunds? So now at this point, you have an almost working system, but Homebrew broke something. I don't know when or why or how, but it's messed up. So our quick fix is if you do an Oscar tool, O-tool-L on the, without the, a capital L, on the libafcpu library. Without the slash. Libaf.
like so.
Yeah, tab that.
From in that code repo?
No, you need to tab that out and file completed. From inside of user local lib. Tab. Without the period. Yeah, tab that out. Oh, then hit tab twice.
There's a lot of them.
There you go. So there, you want to grab the, run this on the 3.4.2.
3.4.2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, on that. And then you'll see the libforge stuff. Now it says that it finds it, but it really doesn't. It's lying to you. So what you need to do is do a list of your libforge libraries and create a soft link to that. And then you're going to need to go into that one and do a soft link. So actually, can we go back to the array, that ArrayFire wiki page that we had open? Do you have that somewhere? Yes. So that ArrayFire wiki has a command, verify ArrayFire installation down here that you can run. And it should fail with some dynamic linking problems. And this is how we're fixing them. So this stuff here.
So what do we have to send in?
Sorry?
What do we have to
Yeah, so we're going to go through what we have to symlink here. Yeah.
Can you put that wiki on the
Yeah. Let me send that out. So, why is it not? Okay. Can you pull that page up? I'm just going to type the URL manually.
Yep, it's right there.
GitHub.com/
Sorry, did we create a channel for this one?
Yeah.
Capital X.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we created a channel for this.
The name?
It should be functional array. Okay. All right, I put that in there. We're going to go through that. And when you run that, you'll have a set of missing libraries that you need to symlink like the .o and some of these others. You'll need to go through that compiler and run put some symlinks in there to point to the libraries because for some reason Homebrew isn't installing the full set of dilibs. I don't know why.
I installed ArrayFire from the package, and I did this testing installation. I didn't get any error.
You want to run the 3.4.2 version of ArrayFire with Forge because the Homebrew does not have libforge version. So the brew ArrayFire doesn't include the thing that we're going to be using for the most part here.
I installed not from Brew.
Oh, you just installed it straight and it worked?
Yes.
Cool.
I get the library uploaded before.
Yeah. So that's what most people have been getting is this missing libraries.
I didn't install anything
From
from Brew.
Brew?
I didn't.
Okay, so you're going to want to, ArrayFire will try, if you have Brew installed already, when you run the ArrayFire package, it runs Brew in the background to install some stuff.
Okay.
But then you should get these missing library errors. And that's what,
Wait, so is there something additional from the two packages you had a copy of in this book and stuff?
from the two packages?
Like you have the maps, you had two PKGs that we had to run.
Yeah,
And then
the clone of the GitHub, yeah, and that's everything. Assuming you have the Xcode tools.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's everything, and then you're going to verify. Yeah. So let's go around and make sure there. Whoa. What is this?
This is what the page said to do.
I've never seen that one before. That's
So what's that, the ArrayFire?
Testing installation.
Oh no, you're building all of the examples. Okay. Well, if the examples build fine, then you're good. But yeah. 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 So in here, did you see the here verify? So create that CPP file. Take that hello world.cpp and copy that into one of your directories. Basically, you see the test script. That's what we're following along on. So we're following along in this. Linux guys, yeah, we're going to run through the dialog test here shortly. So for those of you who already have dialog up and running, there's a walkthrough in the material page that's your next step, is you're going to run through the walkthrough. While he's doing this, basically, did you can go raw file and then save that. Yeah. In the materials link, in there, the walkthrough is what we're going to be going through next. So to give you a little bit of an idea of how we're going to structure this after the installers and stuff are done, we're going to try to take frequent breaks. And we are going to be starting off writing some code right away. So what I want you guys to get first is, well, how many have you have ever seen the Game of Life in APL? Oh, good. Very few of you. This will be fun then. So what you're going to do is you're going to write the Game of Life in APL first. And it's the walkthrough. You're going to type it in. You're going to get used to interacting with the environment. And you're going to get used to writing some code in APL. So that's step number one. And I'll do it up here as well so you guys can walk through it. That's how we're going to test our dialog installation. It'll get you guys all set up and ready. And then we're going to go past that and get into the codefunds graphics and things like that. And this is the point, after we finish that, that's the point at which most people stop learning APL. That's where they sort of go, wow, cool, but I'll never be able to do that. All the rest of this workshop is dedicated after that to how to get past the learning wall and how to make sure that you understand what's going on and how you can progress and use this stuff in real life and actually see the right way to use it. Because there's a lot of wrong ways to do APL. There's also a lot of wrong ways to try to get APL into other languages. So if any of you have seen the Hacker News article, you know I'm very, very, very big on the experience of programming, what you're working through, how you work with the code, the HCI of it, the mental interface between you and your code, and how to optimize that. So I'm going to be heavily emphasizing that in this workshop and how we can make that go through. But to start with, you need to get the initial feeling of what it's like to write some APL code and what happens. And I want you guys, when you're doing this, to think, what am I thinking about this code? So really introspect and ask yourself, what are my reactions to the code? How do I feel about the code? No, this is not a sociology course, but I do want you to think about your initial impressions of writing code like this and think about how it compares to what you think is the right way to write code. And then we'll go from there. So if you want to skip ahead a little bit, you can start reading the walkthrough. And you can start playing around with that on your system. But
that's not, we don't have to do the symlink to make this work, right?
The symlink will not be necessary to make the Game of Life work. Everything else afterwards will need it. Yeah. So mostly the symlink is only a Mac problem, but since there are so many Mac users here, I had actually hoped most of you would be Linux users. But yeah. Well, so given the choice, I'd be on OpenBSD, but here I am on Windows 10. So I'm an old school OpenBSD user, yeah. So I used to maintain some of the NN newsgroup ports and some of the old that old stuff. What? Yeah. So used to be seems to be the common theme, which is really sad. Yep. But basically the process we're going to go through is you're going to be running these things, and you're going to find that most people seem to be finding that the compiler doesn't work. This is important here. This is going to be used in various places. You're going to need to know what your GPU is on your computer. If you have full CUDA capable GPUs, use CUDA if you want. If you have reliable, working, well-tested, bug-free OpenCL installations that happen to be compatible with your particular ATI card, you can use that if you would like to. I don't mind if you curse a little bit because of it, but that's one way to go. If you're like most people and you don't have a built-in discrete GPU, then AF CPU is what you're going to want to have in your mind as your ArrayFire library. And those are the shared library that we're going to be using for doing some of these more interesting vector computations, things like that. And so whenever you see one of these AF CPU, AF CUDA, AF OpenCL, just use whatever you need. And once you run that, how's it going, Morton?
I'm not a Mac user.
Okay, well,
And it's in Danish.
well, let's go to the command line. We can do it from the command line.
So it's there in Codefense.
Okay, so then you can just cd into codefense.
But it doesn't seem to be there when I look. Is there some kind of magic?
Well, let's see. Cd into codefense. Oh,
But in the user local lib there.
yeah, you need to cd into users, yeah, your home directory, go to codefense. Yeah. Yeah, now you can run that clang command. Yeah, so go ahead and run the clang command. On Mac, if you run this, go ahead. Yeah, so you might see this kind of stuff. Library not loaded. So what you need to do is you need to create a symlink between libforge.0.dilib to the libforge 0.9. File first. So if you, I recommend having two terminals open. So I think that's Command-Shift-N. Yes? No? If you like a tab, but new window, side-by-side tiled. Okay, so then cd into the user local lib directory. And that'll get you what you want. And you're basically going to continue running that clang command. Yeah, user local. Until you get your symlinks all worked out. I think there are 2 or 3 symlinks that have to be put in there. And they could be different depending on your brew installation. So yeah, so once you go there, you just run the sudo ln space -s, lowercase space, libforge tabit. User, oh, you need to be inside of lib, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, you're inside. Yeah, so then sudo space ln -s libforge. Yep, there you go. So then you do libforge.0.9.2 to libforge.0.dilib. I don't know why this doesn't work, so if anybody has a better solution to this, feel free to post it up. Forge.0.dilib, not just .dilib. Yeah, I think that's it. And then you run that. You need to authenticate. And then go ahead and go back to the other tab, rerun your clang command. Keep this one open. Yeah, so go over to the other tab on the left, because you're in that tab already. You want to go to the one on the left? Yeah, all right. And then rerun the command. Yep. Oh, maybe.
I got another one.
Yeah, so GFLW, I think you need to symlink to GLFW.3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. The issue graphics there.
Yeah. So, did you link it in? Is it in there? If you do an ls space dash l libforge star. So you might need to do a libforge.dilib as well, pointing to same ln stuff, but point it to .dilib instead of .0. Oh, yeah, so there's the problem. Yeah, your symlink is off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so RM, the first one that you have. You'll need to use sudo.
Not a C program or a Mac.
Yeah, and sudo that. So Control A, sudo space. Yeah, run that. Okay, now rerun the one above it. Yep.
Like so, yeah?
Yep. And then rerun yeah. Yep. All right, yeah, so this one is the next one you have to run. So you go back there. Yep. And do your same ln-s, but this time with lib glfw.3. Yeah, delete. glfw.3.dilib. There we go. Yeah. And then not to libforge, but to libglfw3 without the dot. Without the dot and without the zero stuff. Yeah. Okay, now rerun the compile command over there.
Totally counterintuitive how it colors those.
All right, now we have another one. So you go back there, and you do an ls-l on the libsm star with capital S and a capital M. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in trying not to look at this stuff.
Is that
That looked about right. Go back
go back?
and look at what it said. Oh, it's in a different directory. So why is that in there? Okay, so you'll need to add a dash L. Yeah, just symlink to that from here. So symlink do the symlink, but you'll need to do /opt, or no, user x11 lib. Is that right?
I think it's
/opt x11.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Is it? Okay, so see if we can find SM. And you might want to tab that out. Does anyone know the proper location for the SM file? Let's have a look at it. You don't have it?
Yeah.
So maybe you need to do a homebrew install that. So can you tab out, Morton? Lib, capital S, and then tab? That's installed for you. Do you know which package they have to install for that? If you do, there should be a brew command to list your libraries. Oh yeah, yeah. So do a home. All right. Yay. Okay. Yeah. So you can see why I wanted this sent out a couple of days ago. So yeah, so I think you have to install the X Windows system. Like it'll be xorg, x.org, I think, or xorg, something like that. So if you do a brew search xorg or something like that, you should find it. Or brew install xorg. Yeah. Oh, I remember what SM is. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's one of the basic core level class libraries inside of the libx type stuff. You need that, yeah. So it's the real basic drawing libraries and things like that. Ooh. I hate brew. I hate the state of these package management on Mac, but okay. Do any of you have that? I'm going to find it. All right.
I think I installed it like manually.
Well, wouldn't it have been in? It could have been in Xcode, right?
Yeah, it might be Xcode.
Yeah.
Let me install X from the Apple package.
From the which package?
The Apple tool.
Yeah, I did that.
I get X.
X, what is it called? Quarks? Oh, Quartz, X Quartz. I forgot about Quartz. Yeah. So Morton, you want to try that? Brew search X Quartz.
I think actually there's a separate installer.
Yeah. Ah, okay. So try to do a brew install X Quartz. Let's see if that. What does he want to do?
Brew cast install.
Oh, brew cast install?
Cast. It runs installers versus native.
Okay.
Yeah, brew compiles cast is for compiler stuff.
Okay.
It's like, brew is like packages, the ports for BSDs.
Oh, it's not going to do this by source, is it? No, that's why cask is there. Ah, it's the binary.
Brew is source, cast is binary.
Ah, okay, okay, cool. That works better. All right. So that should then,
It's already brewed, right?
it's brewed, yeah, it's already in the cask. You just have to tap it, right? Okay. All right, cool. At least if they're going to make you work for it, they're going to remind you that there will be beer at the end of this, right? All right, so while we're doing that, I think libsm is the last thing that you have to have ready, and then you'll be good to go on the Mac. So let's go ahead and walk through the next phase, I think. Linux guys, you're all up. You're able to run your maple command? No? What?
I'm on Nix, so it's a whole mess.
You're on what?
Nix, so it's a whole mess. Like I can't use installers without.
You don't have to. Just take the RPM, do an RPM extract, and copy it into opt.
So I can't copy things into opt in Nix either. It sandboxes every
Yeah,
package,
Nix-
so I have to
Nix
build
is
an
functional
installer.
package management. It's fun. But it does make stuff like this difficult.
Yeah.
I'm out. Okay. Well then, good luck. Have fun.
What do I run the map over in?
Maple is run, so what you'll do, I can type this out because I know this one. Okay, so let me, okay, so what you would do is you would cd into opt mdialog, and then there would be a series of tabbing to get you to the Unicode folder. Then from there, you're going to run sudo make scripts, and from that, you would cd into usually something like this, and run an ln-opt maple from there.
Is that what we do on Mac as well, or
Sorry?
do that Mac as well?
No, Mac is a separate thing. You'll just double-click on the dialog application. Yeah. That's the Linux version. That will set up your environment, make sure Salt is all configured correctly, and do all that, and put it into your home folder so you can type maple. So then you would cd into wherever your codefunds path is, and from there you can run maple codefunds dws, like that. While you're working on this, I recommend you do a copy of codefunds dws to my workspace or something like that, and work off of that. And you can do that. For the guys on Linux. If you can do it on Windows too, yeah, everywhere is fine. If you want to copy it over, anybody can make a copy of the codefunds workspace to their own workspace and work out of that. That probably is easiest. You all have a checkout of codefunds? Okay, cool. So then are you all? No, you don't need to do that. You just need to do that. Yes. So for typing characters on Windows, when you run your IME, you'll need to switch over to the dialog IME, and then your control key serves as an extra shift. On Linux, you want to add an extra key map. Does anybody know how to use set xkbmap, or anybody familiar with that? So okay, so basically what you're going to be doing is running a set xkbmap with your group. I like L-switch because I find that the left alt is the easiest to hit with my thumb. It'll be like a second alt-gr or a second shift key with, and then you're going to want to run, there's something here for languages, and you want your US and APL, and then there's a variant that you'll want to do a comma and dialog. And that will set up your keyboard on your modern Linux machines. I don't think it's L, I think it's like Lang or something like that.
Anyone on Linux had problems with it once and versus like Clash.0 versus next major version? Not there yet. You could probably go legacy versus like I think already spent several hours
Okay.
on previous file related to
Okay.
this.
And then, yeah, that's weird. Well, I don't think most of these people are running deb and RPM in systems. This is too hipster for that, man. They're not doing like Red Hat Enterprise or Fedora or anything like that. No, they're doing Nix. They're doing Nix. So they've brought the fire upon
So
themselves.
it copied me for a password and I typed it, but since then it hasn't done anything. Is there any way to see whether it's doing anything? Or?
No, I don't know that actually. So that's a very good question. Let's see. In Mac, Morton, do you know what the Mac keyboard typing thing is? Is there a separate keyboard that's installed?
No, but you use in the right, you use the prefix key, so dollar and then something.
You type dollar and then whatever you want to type? You want to switch over and show? Backtick?
Oh, it's backtick. Well, it's configurable. Yeah, so
So you would just type,
if you hover over any
Oh,
symbol.
so how do you type it? Oh,
So on my keyboard, because I have a Danish keyboard, the less than key is in the bottom left-hand corner. But typically on US keyboard, it would be the back tick that's
okay, good.
I need to type it just back to
Oh.
open the
yeah. So if you go into preferences, you can actually.
Okay, so since we're at that point,
If you type the introducer character, it will pop up.
you guys are going to get 2 to that page. We're going to have to share, so these are little reference cards for you guys to work with. Fortunately, we were not able to get a hold of all of them, so pass those around. You're going to want to use those. Sorry, yes.
So I'm going for this.
Yes, excellent.
The problem is that when I do this.
Yes, so can you show Quad IO? All right, so everybody, since we're computer scientists here.
All right, can we just do the typing bit first, right? So if you type the introducer
Yeah.
on the Mac.
On the Mac.
Well, on the Linux as well.
Yeah. So I'll show you about that because that's a question we want to get to.
You can see all there's an auto-completion list. So you can see what you need. If you type, for example, hash, it'll give you breakdown. If you type the introducer character twice, then you can start searching for APL symbols by their names and pick them off the list.
Okay, excellent.
If you don't have the reference card, you can just hover over the language bar up here, and it'll give you pretty much the same information that's in the reference card for each one of the APL symbols. So this is pretty much the entire language you have up at the top here. You can learn it simply by, we run a programming contest each year for students, and we had one winner of the competition who said he read the problem description, and then he just slowly hovered from left to right until he saw the clinical form.
Right.
To solving that problem.
Yeah.
That's the whole language of it.
Yeah, so this walkthrough is mainly to get you oriented into the idea of how to work with this. I'll explain the problem. Sorry, I forgot your name. Daniel? Yeah, so the problem you're getting is related to something called Quad IO, so we'll go into that here. So is everybody closer to the install? Who's still struggling with installation? Okay. Sorry?
I don't even know if I'm struggling with installation. Yeah, is there some way I can?
Yeah, are you able to run Maple?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get the session up.
Well, it says this. Is it correctly running? It just says.
Yes, you're good. Good. Yeah, so once you can get up to a session that looks shifty like this, you're good. Are you able to get it running?
I installed I am in the samples. I installed.
Okay, so did you install Dialog?
No, not yet.
Okay, did you go through the installation guide?
Yeah, I will go.
Okay, good. And how are we doing here? Yeah, you got it up. You're up?
Yeah, I'm a little lost. I don't know.
No, you're good. You're right there.
Like I never did the symlinks exactly.
We'll be able to fix the symlinks as we go through. Yeah, we'll go through the walkthrough first so you guys can begin playing with some problems. Okay, and you guys are all up and running? Okay, cool. So I think we're at the point where we can run through the walkthrough.
You can see the lines. You can just go up to a line that you've typed previously and modify it. I'll find out the answer to that in a second.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do, yeah?
So I have get the dialog done, but
Yes.
it's on my SSH. So how do I quit or type some command?
You can run off, which is your right paren off, so like that. Without the comment character, so just right paren off. No, with the right paren. See the right paren there? No, that's not a right paren. That's a left. You want the parentheses.
I can't see.
No, that's a left paren. No. So
which one?
the right paren, the curly guy right there. Yeah, off. Yeah, and I'll turn it off.
I see.
Yeah. You don't want to run dialog. You want to be running Maple. And if you can run it from inside of Windows instead of through the terminal, that's ideal.
But I'm
Okay, so you don't have. You can just let this keep going and install dialog, and then just run.
I can install dialog when installing this.
Oh, okay. So then you can follow along in the terminal to start with, and switch over to the version when you get there. Yeah.
Okay, Shift Control Backspace will do it.
So are you able to, are you on a, so you need to be in a windowing environment on Linux.
Yeah.
So have set XKB map.
But
Or you need to install the dialog IME. You won't be able to type it in without that. Yeah. So just through SSH, you have to have the keyboard installed on Windows to do it, if you install through the separate one. So
How do you get the fire line on the
Shift control backspace.
yeah.
Shift control backspace.
Yeah.
To recall the previous line.
And shift control enter to go to the next one. Okay. Yeah, so if you get if you get the dialog Windows version installed, you'll be fine. Yeah. You probably tried to type output when you. Yeah, so if you hit enter with your cursor on one of the lines, it'll try to execute it as. So if you go up.
Whoops.
Yeah, keep going.
Now that's my backspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you keep going up.
I guess I should do something. One. Whatever. Okay. So.
Yeah. So then you just go Control Shift up. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Yep.
And you want to modify it, you just go back up. Go back to previous line, modify it and hit enter. And then Control Shift backspace will cycle through the input lines.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So
I think we're good. Yeah.
It finished the quartz.
Okay, cool. So then run that compile command again.
Was that in this window?
Yeah, that was in this window.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. It runs. So now you can test your dialog one that we were running to see if it works.
So now I can go back to dialog.
Yes.
I can load the workspace.
Yep. You'll need to.
Oh, we didn't save the.
Yeah. So you need to do your configuration stuff.
Which was all up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we'll get to this part a little later. We're just running a test here.
Like so.
You need your like that. Boom! All right. That's what it should look like on that.
Right.
All right.
Go and sit down.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go through the walkthrough, shall we? If you're still installing on the Windows, that's fine. Just watch the walkthrough, see how it goes. Basically, we're going to start with a fresh APL session.